Hey, Jimmy. Well, we're going to talk about why people are moving today after we talk about the stats. And the stats are interesting. I'm going to hide you for just a minute while I go say hi to everybody.
Hey, everybody. It's good to see you.
Good to be seen. Okay, I'm going to hide Jimmy for a minute while I do the stats. And hang tight here. Of course. Come on, come on, come on. All righty, there we go. So we have 69 days of inventory, which is amazing. It's going up a little bit. The prices are holding steady, though. Across the country, that's not so much the case. The inventory's going in the wrong direction, and so are the prices. But we're holding pretty good. Our days of inventory are 69, which I think is pretty good. I think that's going to help keep our price point correct. And Jimmy, chime in when I get you back on screen about that. We're doing 70 sales a day versus last year we were doing 82 sales a day. And we have, as far as available inventory, we have 4,891. And so when we take the 70 and we divide the 70 daily sales into the 4,891, that's how we get 69 days of inventory. I mentioned that because previously I was using, let's say, the August number, but I'm going to use the current number since we're past the 15th of the month. We have 1,144 single family homes in the $0 to $450,000 range, and that's about 32% of our market, which is really good. And Jimmy, we're holding steady with $1 million homes at 4 per day. And I think I heard on Channel 3 this morning when I was working out that luxury homes are setting records. Well, they're a little bit behind the times because we've been doing that since 2021. But anyway, we won't fault them for that. They don't watch my show probably. Anyway, investors are doing 22 sales a day. That's 25% of the market. And other than that, Jimmy, I'm going to bring you back on to talk about this. Let's see if we can't. Here you come. There you are. Let's put us together. There. Okay. So what do you think about the state of affairs in Las Vegas real estate?
I think we have so few houses on the market, it's not healthy. I don't think that's in 69 days is not enough inventory. Anything over 90, I would say, okay. But when we get down below 90 days of inventory, you need buyer skills in a level that you don't need when there's more houses on the market. And the buyer skills you need are the ability to present an offer to the listing agent, because there's going to be multiple offers. It's not a good time to be a buyer right now. So they're going to have not only the emotional swings, but how do you find a house when there's only 69 days of inventory? 1,100 sounds like a lot, but when you say, well, I want this area, this zip code, and I need this many bedrooms and this many baths, all of a sudden you're down to not that many choices. The buyers are not in a good position right now. So, you talk about this all the time. Get your listing skills up, because if you're taking the listings, you're controlling the market, and that hasn't changed. But it's tough to be a buyer's agent right now.
It really is. That's a good point. Do you think there's multiple offers?
Yeah. With that low of inventory. And you're right. The RJ said yesterday in the Sunday's paper, it said the luxury home market is setting new records. So that's where the news stations got it. The RJ had it and said we set a new record for, I think, August or something like that. It was a 2 full-page article in the RJ about the luxury market.
Want to add to that, because I didn't see the article.
Well, it's called Real Estate Millions. There was a $22.5 million home sold, 4 or 5 other homes that sold between 5 and 10 million. So there was quite a few higher end homes, and it said we set a new record. But what was interesting, it lists in the RJ, it tells you who the listing agent and the selling agent is. And I don't think anybody had more than 2 transactions in that whole thing in the top 10, which is 20 sides of business. I'd have to verify that. But every time I looked at a property, it was 1 listing agent, 1 selling agent. They weren't the same guy. There's number 10 was the same company, but 2 people in that company. So nobody's really dominated that market as much as people would like to say, oh, we're dominating that market. I know there's at least 3 companies that would love to say they're dominating that market. I'm not seeing it in the numbers.
You're exactly correct. And I did a little deep dive this morning. When I see 1,112 sales this month, I say, well, who's making those sales? Well, so here's what I found out. And what I have on the screen here is, I don't think I can get it over to my side. Let's see if I can. Probably not. Come on. Ah, I did. Hey. Oh, well, I thought I did. Anyway, but the point is, and I'll post this. If you look at this, there were 44 agents this month that did a deal a week or more. See the four? Yep. 47, excuse me. 47. And then the rest of the sales, well, the total sales, the total agents, I'll get it right here. The total agents that sold homes this month so far, 1,615 agents out of 16,000 agents did at least one deal. Now, 362 did one deal. Or no, 12, I'm sorry. I scribbled this so fast. Everybody, excuse me. Let me start over.
The important thing is 47 people sold one a week. That's 4 deals a month. That's 50 deals there. 50 people sold 50. They're selling 50 houses. So if you're selling 50 houses, you're in the top 50.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And so what I was trying to say is 1,253 agents only did one deal.
Now, is that this month to date or this year?
That's month to date.
Okay.
This is all this month.
Okay.
So 1,253 agents did a side, I should say, because there are 2 sides, but there's only one sale. So 362 did 2 or more sides. And then we have the 47 that did, 4 or more sides. And when you go up there, I mean, 29 did 5 or more, 17 did 6 or more. And you go up to the top and you've just got a few people up there. Aaron Taylor's number 4 with 10 deals. Normally Brinkus is close behind him, but I don't see Brinkus. Can you see him? No, I see Caprios did 7 sides. Yeah, where's Brinkus? He should be up there. He's up there. Oh, there he is. He's up there. He's only done 5, but 5 sides. It's just amazing to me how few agents are doing deals.
Well, obviously we know that Aaron Taylor's got 20 people on his team and Brinkus has 20 people on their team. And so if they did 5, that's for 20 people. That's not even one person. It's not even one deal per person.
Correct.
It's 1/4 of a deal per person. So it's really, you got to, every deal counts, obviously.
Yeah. So, that's, and if you look at, up there in the, Aaron Taylor, he does 7 listings and 3 sales. And Frank, I don't know Frank Organo. Do you know him?
No.
I don't either, but he did 12 listings and he didn't sell any of them, but he listed and they sold. Somebody else sold them. But it's just amazing to me what's gone on in the market, because the top 47 used to be doing many, many more sales. And yeah, anyway, the fact that there was only 1,651 1,615 agents that did a side. I don't know, Jimmy, that's a lot of people not making money.
Well, and all you got to do is not be one of them.
Right.
Just don't be one of them that's not making any money.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So enough of that, I guess, for today. I wanted to talk a little bit about the desire for more space is the most common reason that people are moving. So this was a survey that was taken, and it was taken by Redfin. And they commissioned a survey company to do it for May and June. And with a new format, let me see if I can't move that over. No, I'm going to try again to get that in front. I don't know why I won't do that.
You had a little video with a lady that was inside this little tiny itty bitty.
Yes.
And this Redfin survey tells me that what a way to lead off your emails. What a subject line: need more space, feeling cramped. Would you So this tells us the number one engagement news, whatever subject header for an email.
That's and that's a cute little video. It's quick, it's fast. You can post it on your Facebook page or your Instagram or your LinkedIn, and you can boost it and or use it as an ad. So it's really I'll have to pull that out of the archives. It's somewhere on our website in the lab for agents as well. It's tucked down in there. I'll pull it out so people. That's a great idea, Jimmy. Fantastic idea. And then there's goes way down to 23% want to move to be near to family. And I think a lot of the people that leave Las Vegas, that's what they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for a lower all cost of living, I think a lot of people move here for that reason.
And then, our number one. Yeah.
And then to get a better deal on a home, I guess, California moves here for that.
Yeah.
And we have to live in an area better aligned with their views on social issues. I guess, if you're living in Seattle or Portland is where people are moving out of because of their social situations with the homeless people and the politics going on up there. And then lower taxes, people move here for lower taxes. They move to Florida, they move to Texas. And I'm not so sure about Arizona. Do people move to Arizona for lower taxes? Not so much. No. And then we've got to make a better financial return on the home. Well, that's an interesting one. If somebody can move from one state or city to another for that reason, I think that's pretty heady. I don't know about that.
Well, if Redfin is doing all this work for us and you can grab their survey and you're going to target California, if you could find out why people are moving out of California, they're not moving in California, I don't think, to get a bigger house. They're moving to lower their taxes or lower whatever. And when you're going to market to California, you lead off with a pain point. And so I'd be curious if Redfin, this shows me why people are moving overall around the country.
Yes.
Why would they move from Las Vegas? Why would they move from Phoenix? Why would they move from Santa Fe, New Mexico? What's caused them to leave that area, and what's caused them to come to Las Vegas? I mean, I know lower taxes has got to be way up there, and affordability has got to be way up there, but I don't know that that's the number one. Maybe it's jobs, maybe it's family. I don't know.
Well, new job is 16%.
That's nationally.
Yeah.
We got a lot of jobs here.
Yes, we do.
So I don't know whether people would come here for jobs or not, but even everywhere I look, there's help wanted signs.
Oh yeah, and you can tell. Yeah, and if you go out, especially on the Strip, you can tell that they need more people. Let's see what safety and crime. I guess people are concerned again. In certain areas where there's a lot of homeless people, right, and they don't feel safe because the police are mandated that they can't remove a homeless person from your yard. That's going on in some places in California.
Let me throw this out here. I talked to a very smart man last week, very smart man. And we were talking about office locations, whether you should be in Henderson or Las Vegas or North Las Vegas or the city or the county or whatever. And he talks about the fact that the code doesn't, for instance, as a broker, we are not in charge of enforcing whether our agents have licenses or not. That's a state requirement, unless we're in the city. The city rewrote the code that says the broker is responsible. So as a broker, if you're in the city of Las Vegas, you have to make sure your agents have a business license for the city, or you can get in trouble. And what he told me was, he said, St. Rose is the border between Henderson and Las Vegas City. And he said, you can tell which side of Henderson where the police are rounding up. There's no homeless people. He said, you go to Henderson, the police are all over it. And you go to Las Vegas, they're not bothering homeless people. He said, you can tell, you can almost feel when you drive across the city line. That's and I had not noticed that, but now I'm more sensitive to it. But that's what he brought up about the police force and the safety. And, Henderson was voted one of the most safe cities or whatever. And it's got to be, a lot of it's got to be to the police willing to enforce certain things.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
We have a place for homeless people. They have a shelter. There is a place for them to go if they want to.
Yeah, that's true. And that's not necessarily the case everywhere. I know in California, they have framed areas on the beach where homeless people can go.
A beach
yeah,
house.
well, yeah, on the beach, which, of course, there's residents aren't so happy about that, but at the same time, at least they're not sitting on their doorstep.
Yeah.
So I know it's got to be a tough situation in California with the homeless. And then getting back to this, so people wanting better weather. Yeah, yeah, people want better weather, especially if it's snowing a lot, like up in the Northeast. And then you've got the hurricanes, in the Louisiana, Florida area. Then you've got earthquakes, which earthquakes don't make a big difference until they happen. And then
A lot of people are really afraid of that too. There's
yeah,
a lot of irrational fear about earthquakes because they've seen the damage and seen the scary movies, and they just think it's real. And I lived in California, and I lived through some earthquakes, and there maybe at the epicenter it was severely damaged, but it just shook you up. Might wake you up, you might rattle you out of bed, but the house didn't crash down around you.
yeah. And then there's people that want to live in an area with more highly rated schools. Okay, I wouldn't have thought that was a huge one, but I guess it is. It's pretty big there, 13%. And then people couldn't afford a home or cost of living in their previous area. Of course, that can be California. I felt discriminated in my previous neighborhood. That's interesting. Have to move back due to a return to work policy. Now that's a big one. I think I've been hearing that on the news a little bit.
Interesting, yeah.
And then concern for impact of climate change on my previous area. Concern for okay. What does that mean, Jimmy?
Who knows? Maybe impact climate. Maybe it's water. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Getting back here to have to move back due to a return to work policy. Was it Idaho where everybody was moving?
Yes.
Yeah. And now they're having to, if they want their job, they've got to move back to where they can be at work at least 3 days a week. A lot of the major companies are mandating that. So that's an interesting thing that's going on. Well, I just thought that was an interesting topic for today. And then, Jimmy, my favorite thing, hopefully I can get this on the screen. There we go. This is my favorite thing, Jimmy. I love the sphere. Come on, play. We've contracted somebody to do a video website of the sphere. And I'm so excited about that because Asian Formula members can put it on the front page of their website. It's really an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Why, this is funky.
20.
Well, it's getting close to class time.
Yeah, students are showing up.
Yeah.
The early birds, when they want to pick their seat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just love this thing. Video's not playing too well, but so I'm talking to somebody this afternoon who particularly he did this particular video, and I think I told you yesterday and showed you some of the videos that he takes.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk today at 6:00 about him letting me purchase the different videos that he does for our website. So in addition to doing a major video of the sphere with a flyover and so on and so forth with voiceover and what have you, we're going to do little mini videos of the sphere for people to use. And it's definitely an eye catcher. So I'm excited about that. And you're having a law class today, Jimmy?
Yes, and I suspected you might put something about the sphere, and I have to tell you a story. My father was a teacher, 4 or 5 different topics, a military man, just a Renaissance man. He could do anything. And he used to tell me, the earth moves in 7 different ways at the same time. We're on a planet that spins on its axis, rotates around the sun. There's an earth-moon rotation. It's actually, the Australia science says that we actually move 8 ways because our universe is spinning and it's moving within the universe. And the universe is spinning. So there's actually 8 ways that the earth vibrates, moves, wobbles on its axis. And so we think about this planet, we're spinning around. We always think about because the rotation, because the days, but we don't really think about how we're traveling through. Oh yeah, it's a year. Okay. But then what about the fact that the Earth and the Moon change? It's just crazy. There's a lunar eclipse once in a while because of that.
Yes, right.
So 8 ways. We spin or we move 8 ways.
And
That's the trivia for today. 8 ways.
Yeah.
How many ways does the Earth move?
That's a good one. That's a good one. And Jimmy, just one, let's see, I got a couple of seconds here, I think a couple of minutes for a run or walk or get in the car and drive to the office. I just want to tell everybody that if you're not doing video, if you are not doing anything that captures people's attention besides just talking about your listing or talking about your open house, you're going to be in, those agents that aren't selling homes, because you've got to brand yourself and you've got to be noticed. And I watched a video this morning, Jimmy, with Saran and Gary Vaynerchuk. And Saran is a New York, he started in New York City. He started doing video. He started being a Gary V fan and doing everything Gary told him to do. And so, now he's built his business up to where if you have to make X amount of dollars, like we were even talking about this yesterday, me and you have to make X amount of dollars. You have to have a brand or you cannot join his company. And of course, he is a major force in the real estate market in New York City. And the videos that he started doing were just him walking through a house, nothing, and just talking, but showing people and getting comfortable. He said at the time what he was trying to do is get comfortable doing video, and how important it is if somebody can just do 1 minute, 21-minute videos a day on a private YouTube channel and get comfortable doing video, because that's where we're headed. And also, with artificial intelligence, the way that, people can use that and come up with scripts that they can do. And if they learn how to prompt properly, like we saw Sandy Castile yesterday and the great job she did with creating a seminar points out of using ChatGPT. I was impressed with her ability to prompt it and to then go back and say, well, now refine it and now do it this way, make it more playful. Did you hear all the different prompts she was giving it?
Yeah. And, she was an entertainer, so she's used to doing 3 or 4 takes of something before she gets it right. So she modified it, changed it, tweaked it a little bit. Sirhan has a book called Sell It Like Sirhan, and talks about how he got going and what he did. And what he said, part of what he enjoyed going to the gym, and pretty soon he was the king of the gym in real estate. And he would talk to people that had some common interest with him, and then translate it to, like you said, as he graduated to the videos and stuff, it made him more of a brand. But when he first started, he said he was starving.
Oh yeah. And now, he's on top of the world. And Gary Vaynerchuk said 15 pieces of content a day. If you're not creating 15 pieces of content a day, you're going to be left behind. And they were specifically, because it was their hand, they were specifically focused on real estate. And so I just want to, give a plug for our website, which has thousands of pages of content, videos, all types of things. You've got a built-in encyclopedia for your content. And all you have to do is use the website for your content and just get in front of the camera. And like Saran, when he first started, he said he didn't put himself in the camera. He flipped around and walked through the house and just talked about the house. But however and I think Gary said, whatever it takes for you to get comfortable, you've got to get comfortable. Mm-hmm. Because that's where we're going. That's where we've been going. And now we're arriving, and there's some really terrific video agents out there that are doing these videos, and they're really good. And those people are doing business, because I check their stats. Those people that are out in front and branding themselves, they're doing business for the most part. There's a few that are just on YouTube, and that's their life as YouTube. It's not really real estate, even though they're real estate agents. But for the most part, the successful agents are doing video.
Well, and the other agent we talked to yesterday or the other day she showed me a new gimbal she bought, and it's got a tripod so she can set it somewhere. It's got, stabilization. It was a really, really nice piece of equipment. I don't know how much she paid for it, but she's positioning herself to get out there. And she's already done one video that she showed us, I thought was excellent.
It was.
And
It
she's
wasn't,
new.
and she knew what hyperlapse was.
Yep.
I threw that out there just to see if she knew it or if somebody else did the video for her, which is okay.
Right.
But I just wanted to know what her level was so I could talk to her about the hyperlapse, because.
And I think she's totally self-taught. I don't think
Yes.
anybody showed her any of that stuff. She went on YouTube and watched videos and learned it herself, and she's done a really good job.
Yes. Yeah. It's just time. It just takes time, but it's going to save people time in the future. Well, Jimmy, I'm going to hit the road and come down and join the class. I may be a few minutes late.
Okay. We'll start without you.
Yes. Yeah. And let me come in quietly.
Okay. Don't say, hey, it's Ruthie. Okay. All right. Not today.
Today. Bye, everybody.